Hello and welcome to another video with Roblox Studio 101. In this video, I will be showing you guys how to make the stats save, basically a data save script. First of all, you wanna go into your data script by just going to Service Script Service on your side and clicking on Data. Next, you wanna go behind the Games button and just make this go down like this, and you want to write local. You want to make a variable to call out data store service, right? So this variable will indicate the data store service, so we can just write equals game get service data store service. Basically here we're just telling the game that we want to use the data store service to save the data, right? So what we can do is we want to make a key or like a name for our data store. We just data store. So we got the service, but now we want the data store, right? So what you want to do now is that you want to get data store service, then you want to do get data store. So you're gonna get the string or like the name of your data store, which in this case would be you can name it whatever you want. For example, I'm going just to name it data store, right? So inside of this data store there's going to be a list contained of the player's ID of whoever joined the game, and every player will have his own ID obviously, and he will have his own stats saved, right? Now basically, as we said, it will get this specific data store for this game. Now if you change this to 2 or 3 or 4, then everyone's stats whoever played the game would get reset. So this is a fixed name. You don't want to change it unless you want to you want to reset everyone's stats, because if you change this, then everyone's stats is going to be gone, right? Yeah. Now next you want to go here and you want to create a variable. You want to write task wait, just wait to wait, and then you want to do local user ID. You want to get the user ID from that data store, right? Or not from, you want to get the user's ID basically. So then we can use this user ID in the data store. So we can do this by doing user equals ID like this underscore. So this is indicating that we're gonna here write ID. So like when we're calling to the ID of the user, I'm gonna say ID, and then here's where it's gonna be. So we're gonna do dot player. So we're connecting it to a player dot user ID. Make sure the U is not capital, by the way. It can't be capital, otherwise it won't work, right? So simple, like this. We're just saying that for ID. So ID is the user's ID, which is going to be stored inside of this data store, which is just called data store. It doesn't matter what you name it. You can name it anything. It can be even numbers if you want, but we're gonna keep it. I'm just gonna keep it data store. Now down here, you're gonna go below your RNG stats, but not here. Don't go here. Where there's you get coins per second one, right? So what you wanna do is you wanna write local data load. So the data where it's gonna load, you wanna do game get. Oh no, you wanna do data store get async, and then you wanna do user ID, right? So let me explain this. What this does is that we're creating a variable called data load, which this because this variable is what's going to make all your data load, right? This is going to make what makes your data load. So what we're doing is we're connecting the data store. What getAsync means is that it's finding the user ID, right? And then we're going to find it in the data store. We're gonna find it in the data store, and then we're going to pull out its stats, right? So what it's gonna do is gonna look in the data store. It's gonna look for this user ID, the player's user ID, and then it's gonna find it in the data store and load the stats. So what we want to do is that we want to write if data load then, which means if it's like true, if we found it in the what do you call it? If you found the ID in the data store, then what you want to do is you want to write coins the value equals data load 1. This you wanna basically you're saying that the value of it is gonna be the value of your coins will be stored inside here instead of this data load, right? This one just means like this is the first stat, the second stat, first stat, right? Just like that. It's gonna be stored inside of the data load, which is gonna be connected to the user ID, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna do this to all the stats. So we have coin.value, then we can do gems.value, like that. Right, and then we want to do it for where it is, so like common value, right? You know what I mean? Can just do this uncommon value, and we just keep doing this. We get rare, and then we got epic, and then we got legendary, if I'm not wrong. Should be the last one. Yeah, these are the stats. Now what you want to do, you want to do else. So like if the user was not found before inside of data script, so here's what's gonna happen. So what you want to do is right, so what you're gonna do right now is that you're gonna do local numbers saving. So the numbers saving, the numbers you're about to save equals table, right? It's gonna equals into a table, and this table will contain the stat names basically. That's it. So just going to write the stats and the value, obviously, like the value of the stat or data saving. My bad. Data saving. So we can do only a simple epic. We just can start from the beginning. Now don't forget, you want to put a comma when you're dealing with tables. You want to put a comma after each one. So what you want to do that. This one could be for gems, and again you just want to do this for every stat. Simple, just like that. Then uncommon dot value, then where dot value, then epic dot value, and then legendary dot value. Yeah, that should be all of it. Okay, so now that you've done this, is to save the stats, right? What you want to do, you want to go down a line. You want to do data store, and do data store. Get async, which basically means that we're going to get the user ID and then the data saving, or like the new data, basically, which the player, if he was not found, these values he will have. Wait, new player data. You can really name this whatever you want. I'll just do this new player data. This is gonna be the new player's data, basically, right? So we're going to get the user ID and we're going to update the value of the user ID to this data over here, right? Simple enough, I think. And now for this, you're almost done. I just want to do something over here to make it a bit more organized. We can go like that and just like that, right? I think so, yeah, like that. Yeah, basically now what you want to do here, I'm just gonna rename this to the data store, you know, and down here I wanna rename this to coins per second. Then you wanna go down. Now, what you wanna do is do the same thing we did up here. When a player is added, here is what we did. But now what we want to do is when a player left, so we want to do dot player removing, and then what we want to do is connect it, or like we want to create a function. We connect it to this function, which we gotta write in here player. And what you want to do is you want to write uh, data store set. I think, you know, big difference, but we'll get and set, you know, just for your information, right? I want to do id underscore now let me check something. Yeah, id underscore gotta be capital, don't forget, for the I here gotta be capital. And then we want to do dot player dot user id, remember, small u. Here you want to put a comma and make a table, right? So you want to go down. So basically we're setting, when the player left, we're setting this new, we're going to store inside of the data store, but we're going to get the ID of the user, and we're going to store inside of the ID of the user his stats, right? So I want to do the stats of basically everyone, I mean all the stats. So this time you can't just write point dot value. This one won't work because this point of value is just a shortcut here. As you can see here, we're gonna have to write the whole thing, which is player dot stat dot point dot value. Don't forget the comma, and that is just copy paste it for all the stats basically. So just get rid of this to gems. This can be common, uncommon, right? Like that. I think that was how it was, right? Uncommon, yeah. Then you want to do the same thing to rare, epic, and legendary. Just do epic and legendary. And yeah, that's pretty much it to how to make it save. So if we try to test it right now, just hop on, click on play button right now. Oh yeah, I get why this was not working. You want to go to your game settings here, and you want to go to security. You want to enable API services, right? Which allows it to do data stores, right? Just allows you to store the data. Okay, what's this? Right. Let's see. I think what we needed to do here was do the security. Allow HTTP requests, right? As we can see, okay, it still does not work. Being greedy, I guess. Which one was this? Which line? It was this one. Right. Just a second. I'm not sure actually why it's not working. It should work. Hold up. Uh, so it's this one. So maybe what we can do. Wait a second. I think if I just remove this, I had a problem with it before. Yes, that again. That's the problem. It's gonna remove it and reinsert it. And I think now it should work. Yeah, no errors. So what you wanna do to fix it, just remove this part of the script and then re-enter it. Now to make sure it works, you can go here in the Explore tab, search coins. You can find the stats, coins. You can see we're getting some coins, right? So we have 21 coins. We stop. If we re-enter the game, we go search, and we have 27. See, it stayed, and now we're just keeping and getting more every second. That's basically it. Now, basically, yeah, that's all you need to know. Now, if you're ever going to add more stats, or when we will add more stats or stuff in here, what you want to do is that you always want to remove this part of the script and then re-enter it, just like that. And yeah, that's it. This is how to make your data save. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.